Okay, the Wednesday problem solving is a little bit challenging. The Jones family sold corn at the farmer's market. They priced it at $5 for a dozen ears of corn. If the family sold 312 ears of corn, how much money did they make? Okay, so what is a dozen? What does a dozen mean? 12. So we know that for every 12 ears, they charge $5. So if they sold, I'm waiting on a couple voices that I hear. Riley, can you please shut that door? Thank you. Okay. What do I need to do to figure out how many dozen ears of corn they sold? What do I need to do to figure out how many dozen? They sold 312 ears and there's 12 in a dozen. What should I do to figure out how many dozen ears of corn they sold? Yes. 312 divided by 12. Okay, now that is a skill that we don't have yet, right? That's fair. We don't know how to do 312 divided by 12. Boys, I need you to be paying attention. I only had one person get this right. So what Gary did was he said, well, 12 times 10 is 120, right? So take that 120 out. Okay? So that is you have a quotient of, wait a minute, sorry, I didn't subtract correctly. Okay, so we have a partial quotient. We already subtracted 12 10 times. So you can do 12 times 10 again to get another 120, and you can subtract that out. Now you have 72 left. How many times does 12 go into 72? Or 12 times what is 72? 6. Okay? So now we took 10 out and 10 out and then 6 more out. So 12 times 26 is 312, or 312 divided by 12 is 26. Okay? You have to think backwards sometimes. We know that division is the opposite of multiplication. We also should know that division is repeated subtraction. Well, I don't have to do 312 minus 12 26 times. If I did, it would work and I would get the answer. I can chunk those together. So instead of just subtracting 12 one time, I can subtract 12 10 times. And know that that's 10, right? I'm just chunking it together, but it's repeated subtraction. I have to keep subtracting 12 until I get to 0. Okay? So, 26 dozen ears of corn. Once we know how many dozen ears, the problem gets pretty easy. How much for each dozen? 5. So how do I figure out the total amount of money they made? Huh? Multiply what? 26 times 5. Okay? So for 26 times 5, if you don't know how to do that, you could do 26 plus 26 plus 26 plus 26 plus 26. Or we can break it apart. We can do 20 times 5, which is 100, and 6 times 5, which is 30. The answer is $130. Okay? The Jones family made $130. Okay? I should see lots of people writing because only one person got this one correct. Savannah, what's your question?
Are we doing math today?
Have you gotten this out yet, babe?